In today's gaming news, Dark Souls 2 ships 1.2 million units to the West, WildStar hopes to justify its sub fee, and the console version of ESO is pushed back 6 months. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My name is Force, here with your day's gaming news. First up today, Dark Souls 2 launched to much praise both from fans and from critics, and apparently it sold its fair share of copies as well. According to a recent report, Dark Souls 2 sold 1.2 million copies to North America and Europe within its first 3 weeks. Now these numbers do not include the PC release of that game, so add a bunch more sales on top of that. At least it seemed like the PC version got quite a bit of love, and these numbers put it on track to be doing much better than the original launch of Dark Souls did, the first Dark Souls did within its first month of launch. Now, do of course keep in mind this is multiple platforms as opposed to the original Dark Souls was console exclusive to start and then came to the PC at a much later date. But this is good news either way, because this means that if it does well, we'll probably see a follow-up, and I think these sorts of games have a place in the market, especially right now. These more hardcore games, these games that can be very brutally challenging if you aren't paying attention 100% of the time. I'm loving what I've played of Dark Souls 2 so far, and I'm glad that it is being successful. Next up in news, it looks like WildStar will be hoping to justify its sub fee by providing you with regular, consistent, quality content. In an interview with IGN, WildStar design producer Stefan Frost likened it to an HBO fee, saying that it really comes down to people are willing to pay for quality. In the article, he was quoted saying, "We're saying we think there's enough content for you to do, and our release plan is also extremely fair. We're putting in things like new zones, new PvP maps, new dungeons, new raids, month after month after month. You'll see a new content every 28 days at a regular pace," and that seems to be the going trend, where if a game's saying it's going to charge a sub fee, well, they want to make sure that the quality is there. Now, this is a little bit different, though, than just a straight-up sub fee, like you've got in World of Warcraft and like you currently have in the Elder Scrolls Online, in that they are running a cred system. So similar to what EVE Online does, you can actually use in-game currency to purchase a sub from another player who actually spends the real money to buy it, and then you buy it from them with gold. So it's a way for actually people to buy in-game gold, a legitimate way, but also a way for people to avoid sub fees. I actually think it's kind of neat, and I'm interested to seeing how it plays out. I would say that I'm more of a person who is likely to purchase a sub and then sell it to other people for gold, because I play so many games, I don't have as much time to devote to a single game, and I actually rather have that currency and just pay the monthly money for my sub. It's just sort of, you know, do you have more time or are you willing to spend more money? That's how these things typically work out. I'll be interested to see how it works. I don't have much experience with EVE, so I can't say how that system works and how I could compare it to here, but it evidently works because EVE is still going strong. In fact, it's doing very well for itself. Looking forward to WildStar. It's in open beta right now. I've had some troubles logging in, but once that gets sorted out, I'm going to be jumping in. Can't wait to play, and you know, it's open beta, so if you're interested, give it a look yourself as well. And last up in news today, the console version of the Elder Scrolls Online was actually planned to launch just a few months from now, but it looks like that is not going to happen. Originally planned to come to the next-gen consoles in June, a statement has been released saying that June is not possible and that they're going to need about 6 more months to ensure they deliver the experience fans expect and deserve. The experience that we didn't get on the PC version. But for sure, you're being so unnecessary. Well, they're bugs. Lots of bugs happened. It was a launch of an MMO. It was expected. I still like the game. I'm always going to throw that disclaimer out there. I'm not playing it at the moment. I'll probably go back to revisit it, but boy, oh boy, was it a rough launch. Not just bugs. Well, there's a lot of the progression blocking bugs, bank accounts getting wiped out, people losing all their stuff in their inventory. There's all sorts of just craziness that happen. It's great that they're giving it the time to fix it, because they need to. They absolutely need to. Make sure the console version, when that launches, even though I and all other people who played it on the PC had a rough launch, I would not wish that upon the console players of this game, because I think this could actually be a fantastic game to play on the consoles. It seems to be designed almost specifically for it, in fact. So I wish it well in that atmosphere. I wish it well on those platforms. And if they need this time, absolutely. And then the cynical could also say they're trying to distance themselves from all of the terrible reviews that game got. Good lord, did it get absolutely reamed in the press. You know, it wasn't perfect, but I still enjoyed my time with it. But I don't blame them for maybe wanting to distance themselves from all those terrible scores. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of The Feed. Please let me know in the comment section below what you think about any of the topics discussed here today. How do you feel about the sales of Dark Souls 2, and did you play it? Are you going to check out WildStar? Do you think it'll be worth the sub fee? And ESO getting pushed back on the console, why do you think it happened? Are they trying to fix the problems? Are they trying to distance themselves from the scores? Let me know what you think below, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. Yeah, I don't blame them for wanting to distance themselves from those scores. I mean, what did they average? Like I don't know, like a 60 or 70% if you're, I'm sure it says on Metacritic somewhere. And that's fine, that's average. You're an average student. Congratulations. Problem is, in the gaming industry though, if you get anything below like an 85 or 90, you're done for.